Okay, so now we're going to look at solving inequality equations. And, sorry, not inequality equations, square root inequalities. So when I'm looking at it, I have two things to remember. One, that I'm solving this, but also I have to remember that x minus 4 has to be greater than or equal to 0. This implies that x has to be greater than or equal to 4. This has to be part of my final solution. Now if I'm looking at this, if it's something that I can't just look at and know the answer to, I can square both sides. But I can also think that if the square root of this quantity has to be less than 3, that means this quantity has to be less than 9. Yeah? I would get the same thing if I squared both sides though. So x minus 4 has to be less than 9. That means x has to be less than 13. Putting these two together, I can think about it on a number line to make things easier for myself. Here's 4, here's 13. Greater than or equal to 4 would shade this way. Less than 13 shades this way. So my solution is 4 less than or equal to x less than 13. I always write the smallest number on the left and use less than signs for inequalities that are between two numbers. Looking at this one, I see a 4 and a 4, so that just immediately makes me want to factor. 4x minus 1 less than or equal to 6. Square root of 4 is 2. So 2 root x minus 1 less than or equal to 6. Root x minus 1 less than or equal to 3. I have the same thing again. X minus 1 has to be positive, and this quantity has to be less than 9. So x minus 1 greater than or equal to 0, and x minus 1, x minus 1 less than or equal to 9. Putting these two together, x is greater than or equal to 1, and x is less than or equal to 10. 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10 is my final solution. This one's a bit more complicated, but not really. Move the 5 to the other side. Root 3x minus 2 less than or equal to 14. So now 3x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 0, and 3x minus 2 is less than or equal to 14 squared, which is 196. 3x greater than or equal to 2, x greater than or equal to 2/3. Move the 2 to the other side, 3x less than or equal to 198. X less than or equal to 198 over 3. Let's think about whether that goes in. That would be 6, goes in 18, so less than or equal to 66. So putting these two together, 2/3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 66 is my final solution for 9C.